was located in the southern part of Sweden, and there were about 10 children that got off, including my sister, and they was accompanied by some adult chaperones. And then this is what I received following recollections by my Swedish sister Eva. So she sent that, I got it in an email. So anyway, so here goes the recollections, because a lot of this I wouldn't remember anyway, but it's a good thing that she sent this, so I got quite a bit of info. So anyway, on my neck, on arrival, on my neck was a large name tag with my name and also name of Gustav and Sigrid Matchen. They're the foster home that I stayed with. And I was wearing boots and breeches and a small jacket, and then on one hand I had a small suitcase with some clothes, and it also had a picture of my mother. And an agency then kept the information with them until, as long as we stayed with Matchen family. And Gustav and Sigrid, they also had a daughter named Eva. And Eva was born in 1927, and I was born in 1938. So she was actually 17, and I was 6. And then the Matchen family, they lived a few miles north of Ronneby in a community called Kallinge. And I stayed slightly more than 2 years with them from 1944 to 1946. But I did not know the foster parents that my sister Irie went to, but she was not far from where I lived. And after talking with Irie a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to get her to see what she could remember, and that was not good. But anyway, she said that her foster mom was a nurse, and then she had a daughter that was a year older. And then when I arrived over there, the first thing that she did, she took the mom took the nice clothes from my sister and gave it to her daughter. And the other thing, she was not allowed to come and see me for some reason or another, and she got spanked often. And then, let's see, when writing letters back to Finland, my mom had said, especially to Irie, that if things were going good, draw a picture of a house. And if things were going bad, draw a picture of a boat. So that way. And then after the meeting, at the Ronneby, I was quite shy. And of course, I couldn't speak any Swedish, but I ran directly over to Gustav and hugged him. So that was a good thing. And then after that, we went from to Matchen family. We went to a taxi from there to a home of it was a Donald Berga, and that's where I had my first meal. And it was fried eggs, bacon, potatoes, and bread. And then we traveled to Matchen's house, and it was a large house, 3 stories, and I got to sleep or stay with Gustav and Ingrid on a 2nd floor in the same room as they were in. But I was still, shy and reclusive, but I had great confidence, in the family. But I was worried that I was going to be giving away to somebody else. And so I demonstrated this by, when they went to visiting friends, I refused to go. So Sigrid and Eva had to go by, themselves. But after a while, I got more comfortable, and later on, I thought it was fun to go with the family and meet other people. And I started thinking there were other people to visit also, and I was always willing to go to a party. And eventually, I wanted some nice clothes. Before, I didn't want any, because I didn't want to leave the house. And I like delicious cakes when we had our own party. And I also wanted Sigrid to play the piano, because when she played, I sang and kept rhythm with it. So I had a feeling for rhythm. And the fear for the shopping for the shoes and clothing, soon disappeared. And during my stay in Sweden, I got quite a few clothes which I took back to Finland with me. And then, of course, I received presents during my birthdays and Christmas. And then I started calling Gustav and Sigrid my father and mother, and Eva as my sister. And I spent much of the time with Gustav out in the fields and the animals in the stables inside the barn and the workshops and in the woods. And I like to load hay and climb trees and sit on a horse. And I swam on a river that was close by. And I learned to speak Swedish quite quickly. And the way they did that, the way the language was taught to me, they pointed pictures, and then they also read Swedish to me. And then there were a lot of children that lived close by, and so I got to play with them, and of course then I learned more. And then apparently I had a special, I played a lot with a boy named Benny Malin, but also I had a special relationship with a girl named Anita. She was older than I, so I often said I wanted to marry her. So we did dance on a wooden floor that was elevated with guardrails around it, and it was close to our farm and located next to a large field and lots of trees. And one thing that I did remember, when I was out in the field by myself, a big black bull came after me. And I ran for my life, and I made it over the fence just in time. And then the other thing that happened to me, a hornet went in my ear and it stung. And so what do? I put my hand on it, and I kept running around as it kept stinging me. So I don't know, maybe I was trying to figure out how much pain I could withstand. And then I did play some pranks with other boys also. You know, we were quite young, but what we would package up as cow pies. I don't know if everybody knows what cow pies are. But anyway, we would package them up and make them look like gifts. And set them on the road and watch cars and people walking by pick them up. And the other thing I remembered, because we had geese, and I was really scared of them because they come after you and they hiss. And then although the turkeys were just as big as I was, or bigger actually. And then the other thing I remember was my sister came to visit, trying to find me. She didn't know where I was, but somehow, I don't know how, but she found me. And she was on a bike, and then she wouldn't let me ride it anyways at first, so I just ran away. And then she got really in big trouble when she went back for taking the bike, because she wasn't actually supposed to leave where she was. And the family that she stayed with, they made her work like a slave, and they would punish her by locking her in a bathroom. And then that's how she got her meals. She had to eat them inside the bathroom that was locked up. And but anyway, so that's what happened now. So she definitely did not have a good experience over there. And then Gustav and Sigrid, they kept contact with my parents in Finland. And what they did, they wrote letters, but there was somebody a Swedish family in Finland that lived close by our family, and so they were able to translate the letters to my folks, and then when they sent letters over here, then it was translated into Swedish. And then, let's see, what was that? I'm trying to think here. Okay, my dad came to visit me in summer of 1945, and then my mom came in May of 1946. And the reason she did that was, to get acquainted with me, because the history was a lot of kids forgot their parents. So, but I was one of them too. I didn't want to go back to Finland. So the way they did that without me getting all riled up and crying and all that stuff, they took Eva. She came along. So as long as she came along, everything was fine. And then our journey back to Helsinki was on a ferry. You know, it's similar to a cruise ship, so it wasn't one of these freighters. And then when my father and mother picked us up, I got to sit on the lap of my father while he was driving home. And then while in Finland, Eva became ill. She had an appendix, so she had an operation there. And so finally, she was going back, after she got well, she had to go back to Sweden. And then I told her to make sure that I tell Anita that I miss her. And so I cried a lot when she left, but that was much easier than going the other route before. So she saved the day by coming along. And then I attended Swedish Finnish school, so I had to relearn the Finnish language because I couldn't speak any Finnish when I came back, and so I'd completely forgotten about it. And then next year my mom and dad got divorced, and then Ari and I went back to live with my grandparents again in Alajärvi. And then my mom decided to go to U.S. to find a better opportunity for us, and she had a visitor's permit. It was for 90 days, so she had to get married in 90 days in order to stay there. And well, she met a widow, so that's who she ended up marrying. And then Ari and I, we had to wait till all the paperwork was done, getting the visa, so we could come, and join her. But then during that time, I got to play with, we had neighbors, and they had lots of kids and girls and daughters. But anyway, the other part was we did go to school, and then in the winter it was really cold, and my sister was saying that she still had to wear a short skirt, but then she wore long wool socks. But I don't know, there must have been a rule that you couldn't wear slacks for girls. And here I go again, and I like one of the neighbor girls. Their name was Sanni. And she was 4 years older than I was, and guess what? I asked her father if I could marry her. Maybe I must have liked her, and he said I could if I helped out on the field. So I agreed to that. So I was out in the fields working all summer long, and then in between, then of course I had to go my grandfather's place and work there too. And we had these small sickles. We started cutting the wheat, from one end of the field. But anyway, as I was cutting, I did manage to, I still have a scar right here, because then looking at when they do that sickle, it really comes close to your finger. Well, I managed to cut it, but at least I didn't cut it off. And my sister was doing the same. She had a sickle too, so they had us working. And let's see. Oh, and then whenever possible, I would sneak out of the grandparents' home and go dancing with Sunday, which the dance hall was close by. It was actually a lava, on a thing, so that was easy to get to. But anyway, I was not allowed to do that, but I snuck out and did it anyway. And then eventually our visas were approved, and my sister and I, we left for U.S. It was a DC-6, a 4-engine prop plane, in October of 1949. And we made headlines in the newspapers in Finland and all over USA because it was just my sister, Irie, was age 9, was 11, and traveling alone to reunite with my mother in Nashwauk. And Nashwauk is about 180 miles north of here. And then on a drive from Minneapolis to Nashwauk, my mom had a big bag of bananas, and I think I ate them all, probably. There was probably ate too many of them, but anyway, my favorite fruit in Sweden was a pear. So whenever I eat a pear over here, it reminds me of Sweden. So it's just like that taste never goes away. And then when I visit my cousin Hillary, in Sweden, they had the most awesome ice cream. It's pear flavored. I don't think you can get it here, but it's good. And now we had to learn new language again. And we started in grade 1, and otherwise we're also in grade 3. But I still can remember being in grade 1 with all these tiny little kids. And then when they were doing English, well, in Finland, there are no silent letters. Everything's pronounced, and I couldn't figure that out. But anyway, I did manage to learn. And finally, then let's see, we skipped sixth grade and went from 6th to 8th grade. So that helped graduate a little bit sooner. And then I graduated in Nashwauk High School in 1958 and attended Hibbing Junior College. And I want to be an airline pilot, but because especially memories of when I arrived in the U.S., they had a captain's hat on, airline captain's hat on me and all that. And so then I took flight training and exams for a commercial pilot license, and so I passed everything and got a single engine rating. And then I was also working at the time on my instrument training. But after my moving to the Twin Cities, my plan was to work for 3M and then apply for the flight training, with Republic Airlines. But what happened was my car didn't start one day, and so some fellow worker came and picked me up, and we got in an accident, and I had a concussion, and I had severe headaches for 2 years, and as a result, then I stayed with 3M for 37 years, and I was only going to work for the summer, so I procrastinated. So I retired in retired in 1999, and now I have a short video with the reunion with Eva, and that was in 1999, and it was the first time we've been seeing each other since 1946. And there are also short segments there of Finland, including the war bunkers from the Winter War and the World War II, and including segments of Helsinki, Finland, and the Russian trucks on the highway traveling to Russia. I think they were going to Leningrad. And then I recently talked to my cousin in Finland, and what she mentioned, that she saw an article in the newspaper that Sweden was planning on paying 27,000 euros to Finland for the purpose of distributing to the war children that were mistreated in Sweden. Now, she's doing further investigation on that, so I'll hear that later on, so whatever the outcome is. And so other than that, thanks for coming for my presentation, and then I'll answer any questions, after the...
Lätta spår i sanden och en vind som smeker runt. Jag är så lycklig att jag fann den lyckan som jag alltid drömt. Så kom närmre mig. Låt mig värma dig. För att du finns, för att du kan. Du leder vågorna mot land. Du river murarna mot världen. För att du ser, för att du förstår. Nu lyser himlen när jag går. Du tar min hand och visar vägen. När du står framför mig, då ter sig allting som det ska. Så kom närmre mig. Du finns alltid i mina tankar. Jag ser dig vart jag än går. Min själ har funnit sin like. Det är bara vi som förstår. Våra själar har samma signum. Känns att vi hör ihop. Se, själens ögon har vaknat. Vi öppnar kärlekens port. En evig tid kan själar vandra kring. Söker överallt men finner ingenting. I våra ögon finns en hemlighet. Oförklarligt som bara vi vet. Tvenne själar som har förenats har ödet ordnat det så. På väg mot kärlekens rike stärks banden mellan oss två. Du finns alltid i mina tankar. Jag ser dig vart jag än går. Min själ har funnit sin like. Det är bara vi som förstår. Våra själar har samma signus. Ögon har vaknat.
Kasarmimme eessä suuri portti on. Mi illan pimetessä jäälyhdyn valohon. Sen luona jälleen tavataan ja lyhdyn alla haastellaan. Kuin ennen Liisa pien, kuin ennen Liisa pien. Huomas kaikki heti meitä katsoissaan, et lenti yhteen veti, kun yksi jäi varjo vaan. Sen nähdä kaikki kyllä saa, jos lyhdyn alla armastaa. Sun kanssas Liisa pien, sun kanssas Liisa pien. Iltahuudon hetki liian pian sai, vois tulla kalliks retki, siksi kohta lähden kai. Sulle nyt lausun näkemiin, vaik tahtoisin mä kaupunkiin. Sun kanssas Liisa pien, sun kanssas Liisa pien. Askeleesi tiellä, kauniin käyntis myös, ja tuntelyhty siellä, mi jälleen loistaa yös. Jos en mä palaa luokses lain, ken lyhdyn alla seisoo ain. Sun kanssas Liisa pien, sun kanssas Liisa pien.
Lätta spår i sanden. Och en vind som smeker runt. Jag är så lycklig att jag fann den lyckan som jag alltid drömt. Så kom närmre mig, låt mig värma dig. För att du finns, för att du kan, du leder vågorna mot land, du river murarna mot världen. För att du ser, för att du förstår, nu lyser himlen där jag går. Du tar min hand och visar vägen. När du står framför mig, då ter sig allting som det